Spring training, a time when players shake off the winter rust, prospects try to impress, and Mets fans convince themselves that this is the year. Spoiler alert, it's not. But sometimes, spring training gives us more than just false hope. Sometimes it gives us the best underdog stories in the sport. Today, we're diving into 4 players who showed up to spring training as long shots but walked away as legends, or at least did something ridiculous enough to be remembered. From pizza-fueled Hall of Famers to high school teachers throwing 98. Let's take a look at some of my favorite spring training stories of all time. The 62nd round Godfather pick.
It says with pulp.
You like it with pulp.
Not this much. I like the one that says some pulp.
Piazza rips it. Will it stay fair? Goodbye, home run! Mike Piazza!
Mike Piazza was drafted in the 62nd round. You heard that right, 62nd. There wasn't a 62nd round in baseball's draft when you finish this sentence. That's where we are right now. But thanks to Tommy Lasorda pulling some Godfather-level strings, Mike Piazza was given a shot by the Dodgers in spring training. Turns out, Piazza could actually hit. Who knew? He made the roster in '93, won Rookie of the Year, and went on to have a Hall of Fame career. Mets fans know him best for being the one shining beacon of hope in the early 2000s. Oh, and for obliterating Roger Clemens' soul with a single death stare after the infamous bat-throwing incident. Seriously, Roger, what was it? Piazza's journey to Cooperstown is one of the more unlikely stories in Major League Baseball. Originally seen as nothing more than Lasorda's friend's kid, Piazza worked tirelessly to prove he belonged. He became a 12-time All-Star, hitting a career .308 batting average with 427 home runs and the heart and soul of the Mets during the late 90s and early 2000s. His post-9/11 home run at Shea Stadium still remains as one of the most magical moments in the history of the game.
Lopez wants it away.
And it's hit deep to left center. Andrew Jones on the run. This one has a chance. Home run! Mike Piazza, and the Mets lead 3-2.
Not so bad for a guy who was drafted after 1,389 other players. Number 2, the man who talked his way into history.
Hey, who's got my hat?
Look, I'm Woody. Howdy, howdy, howdy.
Give me that.
Kevin Millar wasn't even supposed to be here. He started in independent ball, which is basically baseball's version of garage band. But the dude just kept on hitting and got invited to spring training and wouldn't take no for an answer. Fast forward to 2004. He's the heart and soul of the Red Sox, coining phrases like cowboy up and convincing his teammates that yes, we can come back from down 3-0 to the Yankees. And they actually did. Millar's greatest skill wasn't even hitting, it was talking. I'm talking about like, this guy could sell religion to the Pope if he wanted to. Or more impressively, selling the idea of breaking an 86-year-old curse to an entire city.
You never know what's going to happen right now. But go out there, support him, and it's time to cowboy up.
Number 3, one bat flip to rule them all.
One ring to rule them all. And in the darkness, find me.
Jose Bautista's MLB career is kind of like the baseball version of crowd surfing. He bounced around from team to team in 2004, but most teams kept on treating him like the unwanted gift at a Secret Santa exchange. Then he gets to Toronto, finds his power stroke, and boom, 54 home runs in 2010. The man went from being an afterthought to one of baseball's most feared hitters. And of course, his biggest claim to fame, the bat flip. What he did wasn't just a bat flip, it was a declaration of war. Chucking his bat into orbit during the 2015 ALDS against Texas was the exclamation point on his career. But let's not forget when the Rangers got their revenge when Rougned Odor absolutely introduced his fist into Bautista's face. This one went down as one of baseball's most famous brawls, if not the most famous brawl.
Happy, he clocks Bautista. Oh, bam! Whoa! Right there. That's an all-time sports punch.
4, the high school teacher that outthrew your favorite team's closer.
You know what we get to do today, Brooks? We get to play baseball.
Jim Morris's story is so ridiculous, even Disney couldn't make it believable. He was a high school science teacher in his mid-30s with a busted up arm, and he made a bet with his students that if they won the championship, he'd try out for the majors. Not only did he throw 98 miles an hour, but he made the Tampa Bay Rays roster. Imagine going from grading your students' chemistry tests to striking out big leaguers in front of 40,000 people. Morris made his debut at 35 and struck out Royce Clayton in 4 pitches in his first appearance.
Jim Morris wearing number 63, just called up today, the 35-year-old high school baseball coach in September. A swing and a strike one, his first major league pitch. 18 games for AAA Durham, a 3-1 record. High earned run average at 548. And he gets ahead of Clayton 0-2.
As I said earlier, I didn't believe it, but I do now.
Fouled off by Clayton. They made the playoffs last spring. That was a challenge that he presented to them. He went around. It's a strikeout for Jim Morris. Morris in his major league debut gets the strikeout. We go to the 9th inning. Rangers lead it 6-1.
His career was short, but the story was so legendary that Disney picked it up, and Dennis Quaid actually played him in the movie The Rookie. Meanwhile, I go into work every day as a science teacher and tell my kids about how Grimace changed my life last year. The only thing I can throw 98 is $98 on a parlay that should have, could have, would have hit. And it definitely would have hit if Aaron Judge would have just held on to that ball in the 5th inning. It's a joke, guys. Don't come after me again. So the next time you're watching a no-name player step up to the plate or on the mound in spring training, it could actually be the next Piazza or Bautista or high school chemistry teacher throwing absolute gas. Maybe it's me. It's not going to be me. I can pretend it's going to be me. Or if you're a Mets fan like me, let's be real. He's probably just another guy that'll have a breakout season right after we trade him. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button and subscribe, and let me know down in the comments, who's your favorite spring training story? I'll see you in the next one.